We here? No, 1 minute.
1 minute.
What do you think? The budget workshop dates. Yeah.
Which we don't ever know. till
We don't,
it's too.
yeah.
And they have to be advertised separately.
Yeah.
I would just. Later. We got a long way to go. I hope.
Ready?
Yeah.
We can do the pledge and the prayer a minute before. Please join us in the pledge and the prayer.
Dave?
Oh, wait a minute. We are missing one member.
Oh, wait. He's here. He's indisposed.
Getting too excited.
How about if somebody sings? Go for it.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for a lovely November day and the bountiful harvest we have enjoyed. Lord, we ask that you be with us tonight as we go through the monthly meeting of the finances of our county. Please grant us the patience and wisdom and understanding to work through the figures as we do what's best for our county. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay. All right, first off tonight, looking for approval of the minutes of 9/12. This will be the special budget meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I made a motion.
Tony was second. Okay, we have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Usual sign. Thank you. Approval of the 9/14 special meeting.
I must abstain because I was not here.
Do we have a motion?
I move we approve. I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 9/14 minutes. All those in favor, usual sign. Abstain, Tony?
Abstains.
Okay. Moving forward, we have a YMCA ARPA recommendation clarification. We had some question as to how the vote went last month, so we're just gonna bring this up for a revote. I have kind of visited with all council members. I think the majority are kind of okay with this revote. So we're gonna move forward. YMCA is here. Is there any additional information you would like to add that you haven't already covered? Make it as brief as possible, please. Yes.
You sign in. So we know who it is.
So thanks for the opportunity to come back. Yeah, we caught the vision for the Madison building because of it, this town being an unreached community for the Y. And I know discounts have been mentioned and things like that, and we would offer discounts to the county and its employees, whether or not this money is approved. So it's important, I think, that you know that. That's what we do, is offer corporate memberships to businesses in town in order to offer access to families. We think our position downtown definitely has an opportunity to improve the health and wellness of this community and the downtown business area and some of the renovations and great things that are happening.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the ARPA committee recommendation.
We have a motion from Tony. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Dave. All those in favor, usual sign. All those opposed.
I'm abstaining.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, now, do we want to go ahead and approve the 10-12 minutes, Rhonda, or do we want to, or as written, or do we want to clarify our new vote?
You can't, as written, because it says undetermined.
Undetermined. Okay,
It
so
says
let's go ahead.
undetermined, so you
Then I'll
can't.
look for a motion to approve the,
No, you can't approve them because they're incorrect. If you're basing it on your new vote, it says in there that it was undetermined.
that'll be part of it.
So you
Okay,
can't do that.
we'll move forward
We'll have to
then.
wait till next month.
Table the
Thank
10,
you.
12 minutes.
But
till-
should we not approve those minutes? And then when we get to this, we've readdressed it for this month's.
I agree.
I
think
agree too.
I think we need to make a motion to approve the minutes minus the
The YMCA.
YMCA vote from last month.
That's your motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second? Second. We have a motion, Tony, second on Dave. All those in favor? Aye.
Opposed.
And Joni's opposed. Thank you. Now let's move along. Bell Memorial Public Library, Stephen Boggs. How are you? Good evening.
Real well, thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Good to see you all here. I would like to please introduce to you, Ms. Abby Sponseller. She's volunteered to be a new trustee at the Bell Memorial Library. She'll be replacing Sandy Schaefer, who has just finished her 16th year as a library trustee. So Abby, if you'd like to come up, they may have a couple of questions.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Hi, Abby.
So Abby, what made you think you were interested in doing this?
Well, I wasn't aware initially that there was even that Mrs. Schaefer was retiring maybe. So one of the other board members brought it to my attention. And so I just love the library. My kids are avid readers. We're always in there multiple times a week. They know us all by name. And so I just thought if that was a way I could serve in that capacity, I would be more than happy to.
That sounds like that would make you a great board member. I would
Yes.
move we approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Sue Ann, a second from Joni to approve. All those in favor, usual sign. Thank you, Abby.
Thank you.
Okay, Lakeland Regional Sewer District.
Good evening. My name is Jim Haney. I'm the president for the Lakeland Regional Sewer District Board of Trustees. And I'm here tonight to respectfully request that you consider appointing Mark Kohler to our board. Unfortunately, Mark had a pre-planned trip out of town, couldn't be here this evening. But you should have received a bio on some of his background. If appointed, Mark would fill the remainder of Rosa Ritchie's board spot. Rosa resigned back in June due to some additional workload at her day job, so to speak, as well as some personal commitments. She just didn't feel like she could continue to support the activities required for the board, Lakeland Regional Sewer District Board. As outlined in Mark's bio, him and his wife currently live on Coon Lake, but they've owned property in the Barbie area since 2013, so they've got some roots. He's now retired, but his long-standing background of leading several successful businesses throughout his career, plus his willingness to volunteer specifically for the Barbie Lakes Property Owners Association and supporting their activities, we feel make him an excellent candidate to serve on our board. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
We have a motion from Tony, a second from Kathy. All those in favor? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your support.
Okay, next up, we have Kosciuszko County Soil and Water.
Yes.
Good evening,
Evening,
folks.
ladies.
Thank you for inviting us to attend. We're just going to give a brief overview of our recent awards. So on Monday, our district received the District Showcase Award presented by the Indiana Association of Soil and Water Conservation Districts. This award is only given to 3 counties throughout the state each year. This year, obviously, it was Kosciuszko. Newton County also received it, and Montgomery. So we will be recognized at the annual conference at the Indiana District meeting down in Indianapolis on January 9th. In addition to this award at the banquet, we will also be getting a promotional video filmed recognizing us that will be distributed across the state.
Oh, very good.
Congratulations.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. You guys,
Congratulations.
yes.
Keep up the good
That's
work.
it,
Yeah.
Stark County.
Do you want me to go into details of why we got the award or anything like that?
Sure.
Great. The local program being recognized is our Urban Healthy Soils program. This was launched in March of 2022 in partnership with the Soil and Water District, USDA, Clayton Garden Center, TWF, which is the Watershed Foundation, Purdue Extension, Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams, and the Indiana Master Naturalist Program. The mission of this program is to improve soil health on Kosciuszko urban and small scale farms, which is anything 10 acres or less. We provide free soil sampling, one-on-one technical assistance. We host educational workshops, and we also establish educational materials. I can pass the mic off to Aaliyah if you want to give a brief overview of some of our achievements and what to look forward to in 2024.
Good evening,
Good
everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Aaliyah Southworth, so I'll just go over some of the accomplishments of this program since its inception 2 years ago. So in the last 2 years, this program has trained 17 volunteers to take soil samples in the community. We've made 50 site visits to take these soil samples at local small farms and home gardens. We've provided 25 technical assistance meetings with participants going over their soil results and other resources to address their soil health concerns. We gave away free silage tarps to 8 small farms and home gardens donated by Beer Dairy out of Milford. And I've also written a little article about tarps that's in the packet that I handed to you tonight. And we'll put some extra packets on the back table if anyone else wants to learn about our program. And yeah, feel free to read that article. We also gave away free cover crop seed, enough to cover a total of 140,000 square feet, or just a little over 3 acres. Some notable community connections made through this program are with the Purdue Extension. They connected us with a woman named Carolyn Arnett, who is the community wellness coordinator in the community. She works to bring free food to the food insecure in our county. So whenever I'm meeting with small farms, I have the opportunity to ask them if they're interested in participating in this program and providing free produce or free food to our community. Another connection made through this program was to the Pierceton Tomato Festival. We took a soil sample for the individual that's responsible for coordinating the Pierceton Tomato Festival. So we're able to attend and invited to each year to do a presentation on soil health in the home garden and small farm. Some upcoming events that we have going on for 2024 are in partnership with all listed as a part of our working group. We're going to be putting on a workshop in the winter in partnership with, or who's going to be training the workshop is Dan Perkins of Perkins Family Farm, and also doing a farm tour in the summer. So anyways, to wrap everything up, we're just really grateful for this District Showcase Award and are proud to have presented our program to the members of the State Soil Board and state representation of NRCS and IASWCD. Thank you so much for inviting us to present this award with you and just share this great work. We also have a trifold with that little packet talking about our district as a whole, because we do so much. We do so much more than just this program. And I really want to point that out because I've got awesome coworkers that do awesome work in this community, education and working with kids and adults alike. So
Just for the
do-
benefit of the community, do you have a website or a Facebook page that you could share that possibly could be noted in the newspaper?
Mhm. Yeah.
That kind
so-
of thing. If anybody's out there and wants to participate, maybe they can,
Sure.
contact you.
Sure,
and-
absolutely. Yep. So in the packet I've put together, we've put together on the trifold, it has our website, and you can go to the website to fill out like a questionnaire applying for a soil sample, and that'll get sent to our inbox. And we'll reach out to you and get you scheduled. Do you have any other questions for me or Tashina?
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to say it's great to see the next generation take off out of the gate and run with this thing. He's made a lot of impact, I believe, in our county. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have Stillwater Hospice. Good evening.
Council members, how are you?
Hello.
We are back to answer any additional questions. I believe that Sue met with Mary Shankster, my boss. Mary sends her regrets. She actually had a meeting with the Fort Wayne City Council this evening that was already booked. But I believe we provided information to try to answer all of your questions about our grant request. And so my new CEO, Leslie Friedel, is here with me to answer any other questions you may have.
I do want to report that we did have a positive meeting. We covered a lot of things. And I think that they are clear that this is money to be used to help people with their services and specifically with their services for our county, and that they will be able to track that. They will be able to provide us with reports. And I believe probably quarterly, you can maybe provide us with something that shows who's done what and what's been spent. And the way they explained it, and I'll just tell it real quick unless you want to explain, but I thought it was kind of a novel idea. You know, they bill, whatever they get back doesn't cover their cost. Obviously, it just doesn't anymore. And so that's how they track in information. Money that comes within our county would be put in that fund, and then it would be pulled over as those payments needed to be supplemented to get it up to what their actual charges are. So then it could, would, should, might, ought to hopefully be able to keep the people in our county from having to pay a whole lot more for the services.
Well, after reading what they submitted to us, and I know I asked for more information last month. To me, it's still a little vague. There's not specifics on how it's spent, how much is spent per family, things like this. I realize that also contributes to the number of families you have. And as of last meeting, it was 30 families, if I'm not correcting. And at $50,000, that's a lot of money. So I just felt this report was a little vague to me to explain exactly how you're going to do this.
So just as a reminder from our Kosciuszko Home Care and Hospice days, that 30 families isn't the only 30 that we've served. We budget for an average daily census of 30. So that could be 30 patients a day, it could be 27 tomorrow, it could be 32 the day after. It just depends on the number of admissions and deaths that we have. I don't have the total number for 2023 off the top of my head. But just to clarify that that's not just 30 patients that we've served.
Right, I'm just giving a report that you gave last month. And you know, Glenn, I worked with you guys for a lot of years on the funeral side of it and know what you guys do. But again, I still felt that was vague for what I was looking for.
Okay.
It's not personal, but it was vague.
So I'm willing to make a motion that we accept paying for another year with the expectation that we will get reports on a quarterly basis. And obviously, if those reports aren't forthcoming, money won't be forthcoming. And I think that maybe clarifies it.
Yeah.
And I believe the contract that we have is a contract that can be broken by either party at any time. And so I'm comfortable with making it now, as long as we do receive those reports, which I'm sure you will make every effort to follow.
And would you like to have those on a calendar quarter?
Yes.
Since it's a fiscal year, calendar year? Okay.
Right, and in advance, so if we had them March, if we had it in March, we would be able to look at it at our meeting in April.
Gotcha, okay.
So,
I guess to me though, I know that you would ask for specific reports and Tony kind of made the note that they weren't really specific. So in both of our defenses, I think we need to make sure that we clarify exactly what we want specifically. And I know that you, Sue Ann, have been talking with them. I think we need to have a specific understanding, so it's not vague coming into the first quarter. I mean, what do you guys think?
well, and I think what I just described is what we need to know.
Okay.
How many people have you billed? How much money have you moved from pillar to post, so to speak?
Okay.
And that would give us a handle, I think, maybe on what's going on.
And I would commit also that we can run a trial report in January, send it over to you, have you look at it. If it's not exactly what you want, let us know. change it and fix it to be clear what you want.
I still have the issue that we've asked for this several months ago, Glenn.
Yeah.
This is you and me talking business, it's not personal, but we've asked for this several months ago, and it took an ultimatum to get it here tonight. And I still have a problem with that.
Well, I'll second Sue Ann's motion.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve contingent on receiving our quarterly reports. And you will detail exactly, or you have detailed exactly what you want, and we have a second from Kathy. Okay, with that, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Wait a minute.
Usual-
I have a question. Is that committed for the year or quarterly as we get the reports? Because you kind of
Well,
said,
I think we can look at the reports, and if we're not satisfied with the reports, the one thing that I don't want us to do is jerk the rug out from under them in the middle of the stream. That's not hardly fair.
right,
So, we would probably say, okay, if the quarterly reports in the first quarter aren't what we're expecting, we'd give you to the second quarter to get them up to speed. And if they're not, then move on.
Sure.
We won't be sharing money.
Would you be willing to amend your motion to
yeah, I
that?
was gonna say.
Yeah, I will amend the motion that we,
Then I
look
then I
at-
can deal with that.
yeah, if we look at the first quarter's reports and we're satisfied, then we're good. If they're not what we want and we move to the second quarter, we would fund for half a year. And if the second quarter you haven't met the level, then we're done.
I think
Okay.
that's very fair.
I think the motion is very clear. Kathy, are you seconding
Yep,
that?
I will second that motion.
Okay. Let's go to a vote. All those in favor, usual sign.
Given that, I say yes.
Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you,
Thank
Glenn.
you. Thanks for coming in.
Okay, next up is Assessor Gail Chapman.
Not here.
Not here.
No.
Move to table the request to next month.
Okay,
Wait.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
Wait,
Rhonda, can you fill in for her, please? That's what's always been done.
Rhonda, do you want to fill in for her, please?
Sure.
So if you see the letter, she summarizes the reason why she's wanting to add a person.
And the wage committee
The
has
wage
approved
committee Has
this.
approved it, yep.
And this is because she has one employee that's on active duty.
Yes.
The National Guard. Make a motion to approve.
second,
We have a motion from Joni and a second from Kim to approve. All those in favor, usual sign.
Thank you,
Motion
Rhonda.
carried. Thank you. Health Department, Bob Weaver.
We'd have to advertise that.
Good evening, Bob.
Good evening. I'm here to give you a brief review of, brief update on the Health First Indiana Fund. It has come to all the counties of the state if they choose to make the budget for it, and it's approved. And after conferring with many people, including the Board of Health, I submitted a budget September 1st for this funding. And it was recently approved. And I really don't need an approval tonight, but eventually you could do that tonight or turn it down, but
I make a motion that we approve the budget as submitted.
okay.
I'll second.
Okay, but you're not going to be spending any of this until in December, right? The program doesn't start
It
until.
doesn't
December.
start till 2024.
Right.
It says
Or
right
until
on it.
January.
Yeah,
It says
Okay.
2024.
So that says,
Senate Bill 4.
that says we would have to do an additional appropriation in
So-
January to approve.
Yes.
so
Or, yeah.
it's interesting, the personnel,
Yes,
um,
sorry.
so is this in comparison to other counties? Is this similar to the type of people that they're bringing in? I noticed the tattoo, nails and piercings that kind of caught my eye
Yeah,
just
the-
a little bit.
Those were suggestions from the state.
Okay,
Yeah, these are pretty much discussed in Senate Bill 4 and the things that they need to have.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
They did.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor from Joni, a second from Tony. All those in favor, usual sign.
Can I ask a quick question?
Really? Let's take the vote first, then you can
Okay,
ask a question.
okay.
All those in favor, usual sign.
Wait a minute. Shouldn't she ask the question?
Oh, it's not gonna affect my vote. I'm just curious about the part-time tattoo nail piercing.
That's exactly the question that I just had, because
Mm-hmm.
I know that it was suggested by the state. That doesn't mean that we necessarily have to have that, I guess.
Bob, tell them how we're good.
It doesn't mean we have to. It was recommended to me by the Board of Health that I put that in the budget. Because we, at the present time, we do not have, or never have had regular inspection program for tattoo, piercing.
Okay,
Okay,
so they're an inspector.
so
And we do have,
It's an inspector.
Okay.
it's an
gotcha.
inspector, okay.
and we do have a lot of those in the county.
Yeah.
Yes, more than you think.
Right.
Oh, and Bob shared with me before the evening started tonight that he's hoping that the state provides a trainer for the inspector.
I
Okay.
think they will. I
Okay.
believe they will.
Are we ready to cast our vote?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
All those
again,
in favor, usual sign.
vote again.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Bob.
Thank
But just real quick, I wanted to tell you, we're working on an advisory board to work with the Board of Health in this whole process. And that my next job will be to meet with the auditor to see how this new fund, the nuts and bolts, how it's gonna work. Okay, so, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks, Bob.
Bob.
Thank you.
Next up, prosecutor's office. Dan Hampton looks like he's here. Good evening,
Good
Dan.
evening.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, I'm here representing the Kosciuszko Coalition on Drug Education, also known as K-Code. You're probably already familiar with K-Code. And the budget was submitted on the regular time of 84,800, which was approved. And then this is the breakdown of the results of the K-Code committee. We reviewed the grants in October. The grant applications, excuse me, from those different areas that were listed on your spreadsheet. Each organization or each category, the 84,800 was split up between three categories plus K-Code operations. Those three categories are prevention and education, intervention and treatment, law enforcement, and justice. And you can see the different areas that the K-Code grant committee awarded the money for next year. So I wanted to present that to you for your information.
You think these are fair figures, Dan?
I'm sorry.
You think these are fair figures?
Do I think they're fair figures as far as the amount that was
I mean, it's
awarded?
been a while since I've been in K-Code, so I couldn't tell you anymore what's fair or not.
Yeah, that's a good question. We're given the amount of money from the state through various court fees. That's how you come up with the total amount. So it's all court fee generated. It's not tax. It's all court fees. And then we try to apportion out for the need between the organizations. You might have a question about the Serenity House
Yes.
not getting any
That's why I
award.
had that question.
The Serenity House didn't get an award because the K-Code bylaws require that the participants, the organizations have to attend certain number of meetings per year.
Okay.
And Serenity House didn't meet that, so.
Okay. Well, given that, I'll make a motion to approve the K-Code recommendations.
I still have a question.
Oh,
Who's your coordinator?
Coordinator is Heidi Blake.
Okay, we have a
They just had an event today at Oakwood, right? Didn't they? have an
No,
event? Was
that,
was
no,
another
that's,
event.
that's Kosciuszko Cares.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
My motion's still the same.
We have a motion from Tony. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion, from Tony, a second from Kathy. All those in favor, usual sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Nice
Dan.
seeing you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thanks, Dan.
Dan, I do have one question. Is
Yes.
there some reason, do all the schools apply or do they just not apply?
Do all the schools apply? Because we gave some money for drug testing for Tippy Valley. Are you talking about drug testing?
Well, I see that it's, schools there and that's the only one. Do other schools ever apply or?
Yes, we
Okay.
have had, no, not this year. We
Okay.
have had other schools apply for previous years, but Tippy Valley was the only school that applied this year.
Okay. And are they all given a notice and said, come hither or what?
They all are aware of
Okay.
K-Code and the opportunity. Some of them, they don't, I don't know. I can only speculate that they
Sure,
don't have.
sure. Okay.
they don't have time to come to the meetings or whatever.
And that
but
may be, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
no, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Next up, Sheriff's Office, Mike Mulligan. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you
Hello.
guys?
Everybody come to attention.
At Easton. So I come before you today. On Tuesday, we went before the commissioners to ask permission to apply for the DNR grant for our boat patrol project. We've done this. This is ongoing for the 20 years that I've worked here. To serve the lakes of Wawasee, Syracuse, and Tippy through their associations. The grant is for a total of $15,000. $12,500 is to pay for enforcement hours, and then $2,500 is to pay for fuel and dock fees.
Okay, it's a very worthwhile program.
Definitely.
Very
Make a
much so.
motion to approve.
Second.
Thank
A
you.
motion from Joni and a second from Kim to approve. All those in favor, usual sign.
So who's your coordinator now for that?
Tyler Stringfellow.
I don't know if I know that guy or not.
Yeah, he's been on about 3 or 4 years, probably.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Superior Court One, Judge Karen McGrath. Good evening.
Good evening. Judge. I am pleased to be here asking for permission to apply for the Juvenile Detention Alternatives Initiative Grant, JDAI, for the 7th year. In the amount of $70,000. If you do a little mental math, that's a whole lot of money over the last 7 years. And it's actually more than you would think, because the first several years, there was also additional funding and the amount of tens of thousands of dollars for our coordinators. The grant does not fund any personnel now. This is for other programs, implementation, data analysis, things like that.
But you have had really good success with this program,
Yes. We
correct?
have. It's the only funding in the county for juveniles. I have a couple of co-coordinators right now, Dana Bailey, Kara Shively. I have a third juvenile probation officer, Dee Monroy, that I'd like to also include in this for the next year, who just do an amazing job finding ways to implement programs in this community to keep kids out of secure detention, which
Thank
is
you
shown
for
to be
that.
incredibly
Thank you.
traumatic.
I make a
I'll make a
motion.
Motion to approve.
You got a second, Kim?
I'll second.
Okay,
But I
motion
think-
Tony and the seconds from Kim to approve. All those in favor, usual sign. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Thanks, Your Honor.
No, I didn't.
Next up, Steve, you made it. Any speeding tickets?
There.
That was a quick 4-hour drive, yes. I made it back. I come before you tonight. I'd like permission, I brought it before the commissioners as well, to apply for the HSIP grant. And what that is a 90-10 split, and it's for road striping. This is the first time we've put in for this grant. It's part of the NOFA call. And it's for 661,000. Our portion would be 66,100, and approximately 50 miles would be striped.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Kathy, a second from Kim to approve. All those in favor? Thank you,
By the
Steve.
way, Steve, nice picture in the paper.
Yes,
Yes.
congratulations on community
You
crossing.
do clean up well.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I didn't recognize you. I just want you to know I had to look at the caption to see.
but since we lost in football, I was able to get my hair cut.
But hey,
So that-
congratulations on an undefeated regular season.
Thank you.
That is impressive.
Thank you.
You
That
said
community
15
crossing grant that we did get rewarded,
miles.
of 800 and I don't know the exact amount, 15-some thousand dollars, was for, the pavement of Old 30 to finish that out. And then for the bridge on T26.
Out of
So,
curiosity, how many dollars have we received through community crossings in say the last 5 years?
the last 5 years, we received over, just under, $5 million. So it'd be 4 million some odd dollars that we
Wonderful.
received. So.
Thank you
Very good.
for
Yeah.
all your hard work
Thank
on
you.
that. We
Hey,
really
thank you very
appreciate it.
much.
I got a question for Steve, if I could. Steve,
I almost got away, Dave.
do we contract it out or do we do it ourselves? That's $12,000 per mile. Is that
Mhm.
the going rate to stripe a pavement?
For how much?
12,000 a mile?
No, oh, for contracting the paint striping out?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
660,000 for 50 miles, that's.
What we do is we do contract that out. And if you do just center line, like sometimes when we pave roads, we just do the yellow line. This is fog lines, center lines, and outside lines. And it's the average, because if you have a passing zone, it doesn't cost as much. If a non-passing zone, then the road costs a lot more. So that's kind of and with the paint that we put in for was the highest of quality. So there's 3 different grades that we use. This is for the kind that actually sets down in the pavement. So,
Okay, I'm
This is
confused.
similar to what you did on Pearson Road.
yeah, that's not,
right.
it's a little different to Pearson.
Why would non-passing be less?
Cause it's dotted. See, so
Oh.
non-passing's consistently straight,
More
passing
gallons.
zones
More
would
gallons
be,
of paint.
you gotta skip a little bit. So.
Thank you,
Thank
Steve. Next up, County Auditor Rhonda Helser. Good evening, Rhonda.
Hello, Rhonda.
Okay, so we decided, or we talked about your 24 council meeting dates. Do you want to just go ahead and table those and talk about?
I don't understand why we can't just approve them, because you're gonna have to advertise all the budget dates anyway, once they're determined.
Yeah, I mean, what's your flavor?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the council meeting dates for the year of 2024. And then the budget public hearings we can discuss at a later meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the meeting dates for 2024. All those in favor? Unanimous.
And then we have the October encumbering 1,585.85. Looks like some work release drug testing is what that was.
I'd move we approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Sue Ann, a second from Kathy to approve. All those in favor? Okay,
And then we have our 24 interlocal agreements. The first one is with the solid waste district. We've been overseeing that as a controller since 2000. We take care of the payroll, the budget and the claims and all the interactions with DLGF. And the cost is $6,000 for the year.
Is $6,000 sufficient? That's all I'm asking. I don't know how much work this takes.
Yeah, I think it is.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
we have a motion from Joni, a second from Tony to approve. All those in favor?
And lastly, we have the interlocal agreement with the KCC RBC. That is $500 and we act as the controller and those are for fees for materials that we use.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is that enough to cover?
Yeah, that's
That seems low.
very low.
That, as far as I can see it, I feel like it's a good amount.
Okay. Yep. Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Kathy, a second from Kim to approve. All those in favor?
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
You might want to discuss the KCC RBC fee next year. This is really low.
Any further business to come before the council tonight? Last call. If not, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. We have a motion from Kathy, a second from Dave to adjourn. All those in favor? Thank you, everyone.
Just don't be. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.